Chapter 2. The retard, the cunt, and the faggot ginger pussy. The time is 2:40 AM. Christian is roaming the shadows of the night looking for a victim to feed on. He hasn't eaten in days and longs for a gluttonous meal to fucking smash down. Whilst stalking the street like a deranged glutton, he comes across a young couple, ripe couple. They appear to be engaged and very intimate. He studies their features and fantasizes about tasting their fresh meat. The girl is about 5'6" with brown hair and dirty Spaniard heritage. The male is a proper soulless ginger type, frolicking around like he's something big. Chris never did like big shots. He continues to creep along their path. They just happen to go down a dark alleyway. Chris sees this as the perfect opportunity to strike. He closes in on them like a pair of mobsters closing in on a helpless gal. They turn and are horrified by the sight. A big bulking fucking retard on the prowl. The ginger faggot steps forward and tries to act tough in front of his girl while simultaneously shitting his jockstrap. The girl is trembling in her retarded jufro. "Hey bro, what the fuck do you think you're doing?" the ginger faggot exclaims as he steps forward with his faggot hipster attire and matching jufro. Suddenly, Chris slices and dices his midsection. He's standing there looking confused for a second, wondering what just happened. Then suddenly his body splits in half and the two halves slowly slide apart. The cunt begins screaming her dirty blooded head off and makes a run for it. But the genetically superior Christian easily catches up to her. First he jumps on top of her and gets a bright idea. He just happens to have a shaver on him and decides to remove that ugly jufro from her cunt head before devouring her. He finds his appetite withering away at the sight of it. As he's shaving, he decides to leave a few nicks because he wants her to look at least as rabid and mangy as him. Then, he shaves her troglodyte eyebrows and marvels at his work. Finally, he takes a mirror out that he just happens to have on him and shows her own looks that she's sporting. He's horrified and her self-esteem is crushed, just before her head is crushed under his fucking behemoth of a foot. Chris drags the corpses back to his lair, in the sewer system of Charleston. Chris takes comfort in the rat's company because he's mentally ill. He prepares a nice hipster casserole from their meat and cooks it over a hobo stove. As he's feasting, he reflects on his journey and contemplates the sheer inferiority of humanity. He devises a plan to get revenge. Since he's memorized the entire Necronomicon, he can conjure any of its evil workings. He gets the bright idea to bring all of Grandpa's victims back to life and create a zombie army, with zombie generals and take over humanity, thus enslaving them all. These wouldn't be your run-of-the-mill zombie types either. They would be genetically enhanced and actually more efficient than an alive human. He figures it would be appropriate for Grandpa's victims to be the war chiefs and generals. Christian also reflects on his startling increase in autistic behavior since the metamorphosis. He seems to have surpassed the far end of the spectrum and entered a whole new realm of retard. He has random outbursts of pure autistic origin and sometimes has massive panic attacks just from socializing with rats. He makes the decision to work on his zombie takeover after he cures his autism, which after much pondering and consideration, he determines will kill him within 3 years if not cured. The next morning, he begins the scientific method.